Hi, this is Jackie,
This is Diana.
and you're listening to Homebodies Only, where we break down HBO series. And today we are going to be breaking down episode 5 of The Sex Lives of College Girls. But before we start, there's a couple things I wanted to say. I wanted to apologize and clarify some things. Last episode, I talked about Keenan Ivory Wayans. I got very mixed up. I said that he was from Mad TV. No, he's from In Living Color. So, and there's the Wayans brothers. No, Key and Peele, totally different. I think I was saying Keenan and Peele. I was all messed up. So I just want to apologize for that.
It happens.
I was pronounced, Diana thought I was saying Canaan wrong, but I wasn't. I don't know if she noticed that, but I was saying Catullan wrong. Okay. I kept saying Catullan, and I had it in my head that it was Catellan. And I may have seen that somewhere, and it was maybe on a blog, misspelled. It's Catullan with a U, Catullan. Sorry, I just had to apologize for that because I don't know if I'm a speech pathologist, but that was annoying me. I looked up Catullan. So there's two sources that this name could have came from. I'm thinking it's the second one, but the first one I found was it's an adjective form of Catullus, who was a Roman lyric poet who would write poems about his love to an aristocratic Roman woman who he hid her identity. He called her Lesbia, which is interesting, but that was not her real name. Also, Catullan, for those Trekkies out there, which I'm sure they knew this already, this was a humanoid species from planet Catulla, and they performed a nerve pinch similar to a Vulcan, with where they took their index fingers. Anyway, but instead they pressed their thumbs against the sides of victims' necks below their ears. And just want to let everybody know, I can't see Diana because I don't know what's going on with the internet right now. So it's weird. I guess you can see me though, right? Can you see me?
Yes, I could see you.
Okay. Well, that's cool. It's probably something with my internet. All right.
It's confusing, right?
Yeah. Oh, another announcement. I was also mistaken on this, but when I Googled it, the series, it said that this series had 8 episodes. No, there's 10.
No.
Okay. And they came out today, 2 of them. So I'm excited. Yeah. So we're halfway through. This is episode 5. We thought we were halfway through.
Yesterday or
last week, whenever we
recorded.
Sorry. Yeah.
The days are all mushed together.
Yes, they are. Okay.
Anyway, so let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
So the name of this episode is That Comment Though. Ooh, I can see you.
That comment though.
You're kind of free. I can see you. Okay. Bella is screaming, right, about Nico's comment, that dress though, on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Whitney comes out of her room and says, "You bet this better not be about Pete Davidson and sweats." I don't know. So I guess she was.
I don't know, but isn't Pete Davidson
always
rumored to be
what?
Well,
dating Kim Kardashian?
Dating like Kim Kardashian,
supposedly. I don't know, but I don't know the sweat. I don't know. I'm sure there's some joke that I have no clue about right now.
So something.
And so when they tell Whitney about the comment, or she reads it, she says he wants to F you to Kimberly. Mm-hmm. Kimberly says, "I don't think that's true." And Whitney says, "Has Leighton seen this yet?" And she said, "No, she doesn't follow me on social media." And they're like, "Me neither." But they're all like, "Oh."
I was laughing so hard.
I know.
That was great.
Because especially they're like, she made it very clear. Something like, she doesn't follow any of her roommates. She's such a snot. Oh, so she says, "I'm not going to say anything. If I touch her sweater," she gets upset if I touch her sweaters, let alone it's her brother. "Are you going to say something though, like to that comment?" She's like, "Yeah, I was thinking something like that comment though." And they're like, "No, you can't put that. You
can't. No."
Yeah. So then Bella's like, "How
Good
about
thing she didn't post a picture of her in that polo shirt that she was rocking during that scene."
Was that red? Is it red?
Like a little,
was it red and skin
it was
tight?
like a red polo shirt.
That's her SIPS uniform.
Oh,
it's her SIPS uniform, and I didn't realize that either. In another episode, I was like, "Why is she wearing that? It's terrible. Like it doesn't. It's honestly
it doesn't do anything
tight.
For
it's
her.
buttoned up. No, it does nothing for her. Like she looks masculine, and she's very feminine. Her body is very feminine.
Yeah. Yes. She's got the curves going.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can't imagine myself in that. That would be, whoa, terrible.
No,
Anyway,
you should not wear a polo shirt unless you're like working at Old Navy with cargo pants. I mean,
right. Or Target.
Do they have to do that still? I don't know. Or at Sips. I don't know. Anyway.
Or at Sips. They got to wear it at Sips. Thank God they wear an apron over it.
Nobody should have to wear one of those.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know. Well, I'm sure that was chosen on purpose.
Women should not wear polo shirts if they are working at... No, wait. Maybe... No, because they have to... Never mind. I'm getting off on a tangent here.
Yeah. So Bella suggests...
Listen, women love... I love a good polo shirt. It just was not the right one for her.
No.
Sorry.
But they all... None of them look like they fit them. If you got to start looking at them when they're at Sips. No, none of them... Like, it's not the right size. I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm like, wait, do I have polo
They're
shirts?
They're totally doing that on purpose, though. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So Bella suggests a tasteful pic, she says. And it's like she grabs her middle finger, she pulls her shirt down, she's doing something gross. And Bella's like, Whitney's like, no. By the way, Bella has on turquoise. And I wrote Bella's eyeshadow, though. It's turquoise. It's very 80s. Which, yeah, and she's quirky, right?
Like some of the music. I love it.
Yeah. So, all of a sudden, Nico deletes the comment. The comment is gone off of her Instagram. She says, "Is that bad?" And Whitney says, "It's not good." So Bella's like pulls it back somehow that Nico is basically obsessed with Kimberly, because she says, so he took the time, he was thinking about it, he went back, he thought about it, he deleted it. She's like, he's basically obsessed with you. And Whitney's like, I think she might be right. Right? I think Whitney agrees, which is funny.
Yeah.
Then Kimberly says, I refuse to overthink this. And all of a sudden her phone gives her a notification sound. And she's like, ugh. So she looks at it and she's like, it's a coupon for Panera, which is funny because I get the Groupon notifications. And I'm like,
right.
Oh, and I'm like, no, it's not.
You get a free salad or...
Yeah. Whatever.
Or
so
I could use something from Panera because, man, you go there, it's like, I'll have a half a salad and a baguette.
Everything's a half a sandwich.
And I'll have a half a bowl, and somehow it's $47 for like...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not getting coupons for Panera. I don't know what...
I need a coupon.
What she's
and
on.
They're like, oh, you got $1 off the pick too. I'm like, $1 off. So, sorry.
I don't know. Yeah. Chipotle's better. That's what I have to say.
Chipotle is way better.
It's better. Okay. So next, then they go into the introduction and there's some other cool song or whatever. They got to do a soundtrack. Is that what they call it? They have to have like an album soundtrack for the show.
The soundtrack
for season 1.
We gotta get in on that.
We forgot to announce the other huge announcement that possibly our podcast had something to do with. They got renewed for a second season for the show.
Yes.
And I'd like to think that our podcast had something to do.
Indeed. I mean, like this show, people are loving us talking about it. So, of course, it would be renewed. Does that mean we're going to continue
renewed?
to podcast?
I guess so. I mean, that was not
we made a
my
vow not to podcast about second seasons, but we'll have to have a executive meeting.
Hey, if we get propelled into stardom because of this show, we're going to have to do it. HBO might have to pay us, I'm thinking, to continue. Yeah. So, also what's exciting about this show, which we talked about, is was filmed, parts of it, in the Hudson Valley where we live. And fun fact, this is the first time a show that's been filmed in the Hudson Valley has been renewed.
Yes, for a second season.
I don't know what other shows got dead after first. Well,
think about it.
Some of them were limited series, like The Undoing.
The Undoing. They filmed some scenes here up our way, and actually, literally, like in our backyard.
In your backyard, basically.
In my backyard, yes.
Yeah.
But could walk there. And that was just a limited series.
There was a show, Happiness, but I didn't have HBO at the time. I don't know how that did. Anywho. All right, next scene. Leighton is sorting clothes at the fun old women's center.
Oh, this is great,
There's a clothes collection. Of course, she's making fun of the clothes. And Alicia points out they're just there to get people off the streets, not to go to brunch at Dean and DeLuca. And then...
Isn't Dean and DeLuca like...
a grocery store.
The thing that's like... Isn't that like behind... When they're shooting the Today Show, wasn't Dean and DeLuca like one of like the stores behind them on the plaza?
Maybe. I mean, I only went into... I believe it's a it's like a fancier grocery store. There is a little... I mean, I lived in the city, I don't know how long ago, over 10 years ago. I'm pretty sure And I thought there was like a counter, like maybe you could get coffee or something to eat and maybe sit down. So that's why, you know, Leighton's like, oh my God, do you think that's a brunch place?
You really think that's a brunch place?
I think that's a brunch place.
That's exactly what I would say, just like that.
So they invite Leighton to drag queen trivia. And Ginger, I found out, is her name, the girl with the short hair.
I was loving Ginger.
I love Ginger so much. She's like, and the winner gets a free eyebrow shaping and a picture with Vermont's most famous drag queen, Miranda Penis. And Leighton says, sorry, I have other plans. I'm going to the Thetalympics party. And they all get really quiet. And she's like, did I say something triggering? And Alicia says, they've been, you know, fighting to abolish Greek life. It's sexist. It's toxic. And Leighton says, Theta does a lot of good, and they just finished doing a construction project in Mexico. And Alicia says, that was for the Senor Frogs that they burnt down. So, pretty funny. Leighton says, well, maybe they're not perfect, but have you ever been to a frat party? And Alicia said, well, she changed herself outside to a tree outside once, but that was it.
That was as close as she got.
So Leighton says, you're making a judgmental assumption.
I mean, can I go to a frat party at this place? I mean, it looks like a pretty high-end.
It's a really nice house.
Bartender.
Yeah.
It's like a nice craftsman style.
Craftsman. I know, we're going to get into that too.
The frats where I went to college were not.
No. Oh my God. They were the most disgusting houses.
They had like tapestries on the wall and they were like dilapidated.
Oh, they were like
they were haunted. Houses. I mean, they had like 20. They had like 20 rooms upstairs. I'm like, oh my God. Somebody's looking.
There was not a clean spot probably in the house.
It smelled.
Yeah. I mean,
like.
Thank God you went there at night.
It smelled like a party all the time. Yeah. Like, how did you live in that?
And then the landlords, we called them slumlords. I was in Albany. Yeah, and it was pretty gross, pretty disgusting. Okay. So basically, Alicia says they should go to the party tonight. And Leighton says, no, really quickly. And Alicia says, prove us wrong. So she's going to forward her an invite, or she does. And she says, just to let you know, they did Photoshop a boob into the invite.
Why wouldn't they?
Of course. And Alicia says, off to a great start. So Bella is with Whitney and Willow at the library. And Bella says
she's... the library?
They're in the library, I'm pretty sure, in this next scene. I did watch the show 3 times, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They were at a big table.
Yes.
It wasn't the dining hall for once.
No.
So they are in the dining hall later. Oh no, maybe that's in a different episode. Oh my gosh. So Bella said she's going to the coolest thing tonight. She's going to a wine and cheese party at the Catullan is throwing a wine and cheese party, and
another event that I would really like an invite to.
I know, but one of them says, I didn't write down my voice to text thing on this is bad. Someone said it must be Whitney. Because it has when he, so that must be Whitney. Whitney says it doesn't sound very cool. But things must be going well because they invited you over. And she says, no, they didn't invite me. I overheard people talking about it. So she's crashing it. Said she needs so much, she needs FaceTime with them and get respect without growing a penis. Then Hayden walks by.
Yes.
Which you have a fun fact about. He's on the men's soccer team. Do you want to talk about Hayden?
Yeah, it took me a minute, but I recognized him. His hair color was different, but he is from. He played a character called Monty in 13 Reasons Why. If you watched that Netflix series,
I did not
a while back. His name is Timothy Granaderos.
Okay,
I'm gonna say, and he's 35 years old. Again,
you are kidding me.
He's 35.
He does not. He doesn't look 35.
I mean, this is what actors do. Like they get cast into these roles, like looking like
35.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I recognized him right away.
Cool.
It took me a second to remember, like he looked a little different, but I was like, oh, which character? Oh my God, 13 Reasons Why. I love when I recognize people.
Yeah. Crossovers.
But he played this role very well, I thought.
Yeah.
As like the stuck up.
Yeah.
Snotty.
Yep. So Willow says, awesome Essex tracksuit. And did you get it at the bookstore? He says, I don't know if she's being funny or actually thought maybe he got it at the bookstore. He says, no, it was team issued. And, their team always gets more stuff than they do, than the women's team. And he said, I don't know, they were just, how do you always get stuff? He was like, they were just waiting for us in the locker room.
Oh, of course.
For them after the last game that they lost really badly.
Yeah. They sound like bad news bears for sure.
Right. And then he said, did we really lose if we had fun? Dork.
Yeah, please.
Whitney gets
12?
angry. Yeah. And Willow said, just try to ignore it. And that's what she's had to do because she would get so angry. And she said, their locker room is like way nicer than ours. And Whitney's like, how much nicer? Like angry. She's like, yep, that's the way I looked.
You go into the girls' soccer locker room?
It looks like a locker room.
It looks like a high school gym locker room.
Yeah. Which I didn't think much of back in the
It does
beginning.
not look like a college locker room at all.
No. All right, now we're at Sips. Kimberly approaches Kanan and says,
"Say it right."
I am. It says, "You're my only real male friend I have so far." And he's like, "Nope, I'm not giving you dating advice." She's like, "Oh my god, no, it's not.
I love
dating. It's about a boy I like. It's about a boy I like." Yeah. Kanan says he doesn't have time for this because his econ project is due at midnight and it's crazy hard. And then she tells him about basically saying, would you like comment on someone's Instagram, but then delete it? And he was like, what? And Leela's like, I knew it. You're dealing with a sociopath, a hot sociopath, and most are hot, which is true. It's true.
True.
He says, and then Kanan says, I guess he could be an F-boy. But Kimberly just wants to know, like, how will she know? And Leela's like, you have to post a story and see how quickly he checks it because the algorithm doesn't lie. The way she delivered that line was so good.
I loved it.
The algorithm doesn't lie. And then Kimberly's like, genius. And she's like, all right. Kimberly's like, Kimberly. I could do, wait, what was the first? I didn't write down.
SpongeBob impression?
The SpongeBob dance impression? There was like two different things she said.
No, a TikTok dance?
A TikTok dance and then a SpongeBob impression. And then Leela's like, you should not have custody of your phone. Yeah, she talks about some SpongeBob thing. That was funny.
I'm siding with her on this one.
Me too. Leela is pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, and I forgot to quote Leela from, I think it was the last episode? Le Tuteur. It was the
when they.
Oh no, that was episode 3. I cannot believe I did have the notes. I'm sorry to bring this back. I got to go back to it. I had the notes, but I somehow missed them. When
rewind.
Leela says, you rewind. Leela says to Nico, when he shows up and invites Kimberly to go watch the Golden Girls, she says, you have a face that they write songs about. Okay. Thank you. It's such a great line. I'm so mad. I couldn't believe I forgot. And I wrote it down.
Totally
I just have
forgot
to talk about that. Okay. All right. Now we are seeing Leighton. She goes over to the Theta house to see her brother, who's shirtless, and she's like, why are you shirtless? And he says, because he looks so good and he looks so good.
Can't deny that.
No. And I was
a little
fine
distracted
with it.
during this scene.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I had to rewatch it to listen to what they were actually saying. Sorry.
So she tells him she's bringing some girls, and he says, dope. And I really think it's funny he said dope, because I feel like dope has been around for so long. Like, dope
but that's like West Coast, isn't it?
No, I would say dope. When I was in college, my ex-boyfriend.
Dope?
Yep. They say dope. That's dope. Yeah, totally.
Groovy, too.
No. Dope and groovy are different. Dope is like, dope. Yo, that's dope.
That's
like,
sick,
it was
LL
Cool J. Sick, dope. Anyway.
Sick.
Ew. Okay. We are.
Ill.
I'm not imitating.
Remember ill?
Yeah, I just said ill. Sick. Dope. That's so stupid. All right, I have to stop.
Okay.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Okay.
All right, Joey Gladstone. Yeah, I just went there.
Sure.
Remember that?
How did that go to that? I don't know. Okay.
Cut it out.
He's like, dope. Sorry. Just threw me for a loop. And he's like, oh, are they Kappa hopefuls? And she said, no.
No.
She tells him they're from the Women's Center, and he says, less dope.
Less dope.
I don't know why that was funny.
There was no hope with dope.
No.
Name that show.
Oh.
Come on.
Saved by the Bell. No.
Yes.
It was?
Oh,
no.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's no hope with dope.
All right. Anti-drugs. Okay.
Yeah, when they had another series movie we should review.
Oh,
but it's not on HBO.
Well, there's a podcast about that.
There's already a podcast.
Back to the Future. It's really good if you want
Which I listened to. It was very good.
It's really good. I didn't listen.
It's very good. Still.
Okay. Still going, I think. All right. So he says the women's center tried to shut them down. And he said that, and she's like, they can't do that or they won't do that or something. He said, they will do that. And he said, tell that to, well, I tried to write down Sigma Chi
or something.
Was down the block, but now it's an Amazon fulfillment center. So he says they're on thin ice with administration, and he tells her to not bring them.
Yeah.
So Leighton goes back to the women's center and says, upon reflection, maybe we should all go to the drag queen trivia. Alicia says, nope, we're going tonight. And then, and then Ginger says, you can Venmo tips, but if you really want, like she was all excited. She's like, if you really want to, you can Venmo tips to Miranda Penis. It's Charlie Smith 81. I don't know, something. It's kind of funny. So Leighton, we see her brother again. I guess he's cleaning or whatever. And she texts her brother and says, sorry, they're coming. So he asks around, is anybody a women's studies major? Minor? Nope.
They got
and
nothing.
then you hear someone in the background talking about getting sombreros. By the way. So that's kind of fun. All right. Whitney now is in the men's locker room doing a live Instagram. And it looks amazing in there.
This was like...
What?
MLS.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this was pro soccer.
Yeah.
Like, this is what pro athletes...
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Locker rooms look like. It was great.
Yeah. Wood-paneled lockers, the mascot costumes there. There are coolers, which look like, they had water with, it looked like fresh lime in it, in lime slices. I mean, I didn't see that the second and third time maybe, but I have it here. Oh, no, the third time I didn't see it. And then she ends up, unfortunately, filming Hayden nudies coming from the shower.
Mm-hmm.
And... Next scene.
Cover up there.
Yep. Next scene, Whitney's in Coach Wood's office. And she's, reprimanding her. And she's like, thank goodness the 17-year-old stayed in the sauna because that would be a minor. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm lucky that I convinced Coach Jim. I listened a couple times. I think she said Coach Jim to let this go. So I guess he's the men's coach. And... She, Whitney gets mad and she says, so that's your plan? Just look away and condone a system where we get treated worse, than the men's team. And she says, I know, you don't think I know how it feels. I'm a 54-year-old lesbian soccer coach. You don't need to tell her how hard it is for female athletes. And she benches her for 2 games.
Yeah.
She's very upset.
I feel like she doesn't bring up the 17-year-old until they're talking to her mom.
No, I'm pretty sure. Well, let me see.
Either way.
Oh,
I wrote in mine.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It is there.
Yeah.
I wrote that there. I don't know. I jumped to it. Sorry.
Yeah.
But she...
I mean...
yeah.
Still relevant.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah.
Yeah, she was not happy about that decision. But hey, listen.
No. Yeah.
There's got to be a consequence.
Yes. So now they're in the dining hall. I mean, if me and you did a live... I don't think very many people would be watching, but because she's the daughter, I don't want to do a live because I'm embarrassed that it'll literally, if me and you are doing it, it'll be me and you. I don't know who would be jumping on to watch us talk.
No, we would just be watching
ourselves. Yes. So
and laughing, but then sending it to people. Did you see our live? We did one kind of live from the faculty room.
Oh no, live. Well.
Oh, no, that was a Snapchat that we made live. We pretended.
We pretended.
It did go viral.
I've definitely pretended
within the
to
community,
do lives, but it went viral.
We should do lives.
Viral within our faculty of 20 people.
Within 5 people.
No, 5. Yeah. Anywho, but with her, she's the senator's daughter. I mean, this is
correct. She's got a lot of followers. I'm sure. More than I do.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the numbers on the live. It went from 40, 50, and then it was 100 something. I was just checking it out.
And you're in college, so people are
they're
jumping
just hanging
on that
out.
stuff.
Yep.
Nobody cares about what I do.
No.
My live is me sipping coffee and shopping at Target or something. I don't know. Nobody wants to see that.
Right. Or we could be doing a live with this. I mean, it's pretty exciting. Okay. So we're in the dining hall, and Jocelyn and Bella are talking to Kimberly about Nico. And Jocelyn asked how quick did Nico look at that story because of the algorithm? And she said 2 minutes. I don't know how she knew that exactly, by the way. Then she said, damn, that's faster than her stalker, and he even served time. So I don't know what the connection was with that, but yeah.
Guy's in jail.
So, So Bella points out also how Nico invited Kimberly to the Theta party. And Jocelyn's like, oh, that's a sex invite. Shower good. And does the action of where she should shower good. Kind of grossed me out a little, I'll be honest. I don't know why.
Yeah, just a tad.
Yeah. Tell us. This makes no sense. What I have. Oh, see. They tell her. I don't know. I don't understand this one part that I wrote, but Bella says, "Seize the DICK."
Yeah.
And Kimberly says,
like chanting it.
Yeah, at the end. But Kimberly says she did reply, but she's like, nah, I don't know, because then I did reply with a GIF. Is it GIF or GIF? I don't know. Of a
GIF.
Baby running, saying, "I'm coming," and he replied, "JK, whoops, that was for someone else." Like he said, JK, and then he said, "Whoops, that was for someone else." So great. So she's like, I think I'm going to stay in tonight and do my econ because it's due by midnight sharp, and she'll get a 0 if it's after that. You know what's weird is they dubbed that in. Did you notice that? Like, it was her voice, but she was not. It was different, a different volume. So I don't know what the original plan was on that.
It was interesting. And when we get to the part where she submits the paper that she already wrote, it was weird. Okay, I have a comment about that later. Did the
we'll
come back to
that's true.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Like, why didn't you just say...
I know.
Anyway. Yeah, I'll stay and do the econ.
Yeah.
So clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you did the econ somehow.
Yeah,
it
that's
didn't
so
match up
true.
anyway.
All right, I didn't even think about that. All right.
And
I'm sorry, I'm trying to read this. Okay, John.
The next scene when Bella goes to
No, wait, I'm not done with this scene yet.
Oh, sorry.
So she says she's just going to stay. She's like, I'm going to stay. I think I'll just stay in tonight, do the econ, blah, blah, blah. And then Jocelyn says, or you should go out tonight and in person and see if something happens. And then Bella, she's like, Bella says she agrees with her, and she has extremely high social intelligence, which I thought was funny. Bella's dressed in a suit, by the way, sort of.
I wanted to talk about that.
Pattern, like,
what?
She's quirky.
The tie and she was something out of like the Irresistible video with like, remember that? Simply
they look a lot sexier than.
No? Okay. I don't know.
I think they're wearing. Yeah, we'll look that up, but she's not as sexy as they were. But
I was just kind of like, that's what you went with?
She's quirky. Okay? She's not trying to be.
But you're going to a wine and cheese party.
They're comedians.
Is it because it's the.
She was more dressed up than these other nerds. They were very casual. Just whatever.
Yeah, I just don't get the whole like.
She's
costumey.
Because she's a performer. Come on.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe she looked like a stand-up comedian to me or something.
Oh, that's what she wants to be.
At first, it was that video of who's the singer that sings "Simply Irresistible."
I forgot his name. Robert Palmer.
Yeah. I was like,
well, he might wear that. He might wear what she was
right?
wearing. Not one of the girls.
I don't know. Then I was like, all right, stand-up comedy. Like, you're down at the Laughing Cow or whatever,
Yes, that's what she is.
Is that what
she's a comedian?
Comedic writers wear?
She's trying to stand out. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's all. I think it's all. Well, it's obviously all done on purpose. But I just have to comment. When Bella goes to the door, she has the most beautiful charcuterie board, and I wanted it.
She has a great I was really hungry.
And when she walked to the door, and they were like, he's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm here for the party, you goof." I don't know.
Like, I was invited, duh.
And it just was weird because I thought
clearly she wasn't invited.
I actually thought like that was secret code word, and it really wasn't going to be a wine and cheese party. I don't know why I had that feeling, but no, that didn't happen. Okay, so now Whitney is with Coach Woods in her office, and Coach Woods is all dressed up. She's got lipstick on, and Whitney doesn't know what's going on. Yeah. She says, we have to have a meeting with your mom because, you had to call her all upset about being benched.
Yeah.
And Whitney's like, I didn't ask for this. Then Dalton is there also in a suit. She's like, because at first she hears him being called in and she was like, oh, her mom.
Have we talked about mom being, that's Sherry Shepherd, right?
Yes. Yes.
From The View.
Yes. Wait. She was on The View? Oh
yes.
Are you sure?
She left The View.
Oh, okay.
And there was like some
drama
reasons why. There always is when they leave The View, right?
Probably. Yeah.
There's so much drama, and then they're like, I have to exit.
Yeah.
She's hysterical, by the way.
She is.
She's really funny.
She's really good. So her mom wants to know why she was benched for standing up for discrimination. And Dalton jumps in saying, "We love your daughter." So we all do, as in Coach Woods included, even more so than I. I thought that was really funny. I don't know why. I know he's an idiot. And then
such a dork.
She asks who he is because she doesn't. Mom doesn't know who she is, and she's like,
"I don't have time for this."
Assistant coach. She's like, "Can you please turn the screen to frame him out?" So the camera, or whatever.
Sure, they're like Paula Deen when she talks. During this scene, for some reason, she had like the Southern thing going.
Who did? The senator?
Yes.
Yes.
Just commanding.
Yes.
Like I don't know. I feel like
where they're supposed to be from. California? Because
we'll talk. Where is she a senator?
I don't know.
Shoot.
I don't know.
We should probably know this. She just had a very commandingness of her.
Oh, yes.
I just made up a word, I think. Commandingness
That's
of her, like, Southern people. They're like...
Hanan.
Anyway.
Commandingness. She says that she's going to administration, and then Coach explains the reason that, she took this so seriously. There we go. Is because of the locker room and filming the boys without permission. And... the mom didn't know this, and she mentions the 17-year-old goalie. That's where she says it stayed in the sauna. Then mom wants to be angled toward her daughter.
Yeah.
And says, we will talk about this later. And then says thank you to Gertrude, Coach Woods. And then she says, love that blouse, or something about the blouse.
Yeah, love it.
I love that part too.
And I was thinking, is she wearing like normal pants or athletic gear?
Yeah, I'm sure it was athletic gear.
Almost
they
like what we were doing
that
on
would have been
Zoom.
awesome. Yeah.
There were many a times where I was in my lounge pants.
And a nicer top.
But I had like a button up or a sweater. I had the jewelry going. I was just in my comfy pants below.
Oh, yeah. And slippers.
For sure.
Yep.
I mean, they were nice, but they were definitely
I sometimes
joggers.
wore the same pair of pants 2 days in a row.
There's no problem with that.
It's not like I was getting dirty.
I know.
Sitting in a seat.
Bought a lot of clothes during quarantine.
That was fun. Okay. Bella's at the wine and cheese party. There's a group there discussing Franzen, who I didn't know who the heck that was. And apparently, FYI, is a novelist. Yeah. To Google it. But she thinks they're talking about the box wine, Franzia.
I was dying.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, I drank like a whole box basically and barfed in the kitty litter.
Yeah.
And then the girl's like, are you talking about the boxed wine?
Yeah.
They're like,
who didn't have that experience though? Because my dad totally had the Chablis, the Franzia Chablis, and like the Franzia.
Isn't Chablis sweet?
Oh, it's so gross. Yeah. But like when you're 17, you don't really care. Duh. And it's in the garage and it's cold and you just pour a glass and you're like, fine. Maybe the White Zinfandel or something.
My mom always had some white
but I was laughing so hard because my dad to this day still has a box of Franzia ready to go.
I feel like, I don't know if they're too old. I don't know. We did not have, we had the White Zinfandel though. Which White Zinfandel is nothing like Zinfandel wine. Like, no. So different.
No. Good Lord.
Oh my God. Anyway.
As I drink my
Asti
Cabernet.
Spumante. What's the brand?
It's so sweet.
Is it Aspi? I'm going to say it wrong.
Spumante. That's like
Spumante. There's
that's
something
like
Spumante.
Like a very sweet champagne, bubbly.
I think she had that.
You can't
too.
even call that champagne.
I don't know. Oh, so carbonated. All right. So then the nice editor is Ryan. And he comes over and he starts chit-chatting with her. And he's like, which one around here do you find most insufferable? And he mentions a woman who was talking about studying abroad in Syria. She said it 9 times. She kept talking about herself studying abroad. Says he really liked Bella's latest writing about her immigrant dad confusing everybody with Jennifer Garner. And she said, but he really does confuse everybody with Jennifer Garner. And he's like, I wrote notes on it. And would you, you're interested to take a look? And she's like, yeah. She looks excited. Then we go to the Theta house. Apparently they got rid of all the offensive props, the sombreros, the kimonos, the afro wigs, any kind of triggers. So all of a sudden, the crew walks in, and it's 8:05. And Ginger's like, are we allowed? How does she ask? Can we enter? She says something like, may we enter? What? Where is everyone? It's 8:05 and the party started at 8. And Leighton's like, nobody does that. That's insane. That they came so early.
Why would you arrive at 8:05 for an 8 o'clock party?
Yeah.
Didn't you know?
Duh. And so Nico offers to take Ginger's coat. She's like, nope, I will keep it on and button. Thank you. He says, whatever makes you comfortable. Then Tova, I know her name because I went back actually, gives him bread. She made a loaf of bread and apparently it's very heavy. And then who says love your craftsman?
A Pyrex, by the way.
Oh,
Who makes bread in a Pyrex?
With a saran wrap.
She had the cling wrap on
Cling wrap. But she might have
If you're making bread, don't you put that in
No, but she might have not baked it in that. She put it in that to give to him. She's giving him Pyrex.
Does he have to wash the Pyrex and give it
probably.
back? Or is that
she's not using plastic, but she did use plastic wrap. So,
I mean,
I don't know about that, Tova.
I don't know when you bring it to
party.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Then again, we're at Essex College.
Yes.
So.
Someone says, I love your craftsman home. I can't remember which one says it. And this is great.
I don't know. Me?
Yeah.
Because I was digging it.
Yeah. And I was going to say, too, my husband is very into craftsmen and like mission furniture and stuff like the woodworking and
the
very,
woodwork,
what do you want to say?
I love a white trim, but when I walk into a craftsman style home or if I'm like in awe of like the cherry color, the mahogany.
Yeah. And usually a lot of
the detail.
Straight lines, right? I guess you want to say, and like molding. And we won't go into that and bore people who are not into that. But it was just very funny.
Some people are not.
Funny comment.
I'm just really into that.
Yeah. So then we see Alyah coming in, and they're actually playing like cool music, and you see Leighton's face kind of change, smiling. The music actually started to play a little louder when she walked in. So Leighton offers her a drink. She's like, I started drinking in the driveway, but I'd like to continue. Then
don't we all?
Ginger, yes. Then Ginger walks up and Alyah goes, Ginger, is that a body cam? And that's the giant brooch. And she's like, this is a perfectly normal brooch or something. I love Ginger a lot.
I love her,
so much. Okay. Now we go to Ryan helping Bella, giving her notes. And she's like, oh, we should go back out there. And he's like, I just want to show you this funny video. And she said, oh, I have one
legit
too.
Gave her notes.
Yeah, he gave her notes. And then she says, oh, I have one too of this woman falling carrying a milkshake. And he puts on a porn. Yeah. Then we go to...
And is totally weird about it.
Yep. Yeah, really weird.
That's great.
So then we have Nico giving a tour to Alyah and explaining Thetalympics and they're licensed bartenders there. They have sober problem solvers, which I thought was very funny. And then she's like... But
what is a sober problem?
I don't know.
Who in
Theta
was
sober?
Was deemed appropriate to
I know. I wish they showed them, but I don't.
That is fantastic. Yeah. Like, did they get paid?
Do they have to wear shirts?
Are they a member?
Shirts?
Are they like freshmen? So they have to pledge?
Maybe we can get T-shirts that say "sober problem solvers." But where would we wear them?
I need a shirt that says, "If you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it."
Oh my god!
Like. Vanilla Ice, no?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
We need a sober problem solver for that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
What a great job that would be, though, to be like this.
But not if you're in a fraternity and you're deemed...
No,
maybe it's the pledges. Well, they don't have any pledges yet.
It has to be.
But I don't know if they have any pledges yet. All right.
There's no upperclassman that's taking a shift on that.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. All right. So then she says... Don't worry, I'm not this big, scary lesbian protester. And he says, I didn't know that you were a lesbian and it would be rude for me to assume it. And Leighton's like, Les. Oh, he's being like overly
so
PC.
Well-spoken, this young man.
Yes, he is. And she says, now would you please hold my feet for a keg stand? And he laughs, whatever. And he says, yes, only if you hold mine afterwards. Ladylike. And he almost sounds a little flirty. And she's like, she looks at him like a dirty look. And he says, equality. And Leighton's like, shut up. Basically. Then Leighton sees Corey and wants to
tries to completely avoid him.
And it says, I'm going to make sure Ginger has her gluten-free beer. And that's how I realized her name was Ginger, just to let you know. All right. Now we are with Kimberly and Whitney at the party, the same party. They're in like a little corner. And Kimberly, by the way, has on this like light pink top. It's low cut. And then like she has this pink and green little cardigan. I don't know.
And like
knitted cardigan.
Girl is like
curvy. Is that what you're saying?
What's the wword?
Don't offend anybody.
No. Like, listen, it was just like, it was.
Yeah. She was. You don't expect it, I guess, right?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
The Sips shirt just really hides it all.
Like I said.
Yeah.
That Sips. Polo just wasn't doing it for her.
No.
But wow, she just.
Yeah, she looked cute.
She's so cute, though.
She is cute. And she says, she's like, I'm here tonight for me. I'm here not for him. And she's like, tonight's a me night. I don't know. It's really funny. And then she asks, but if I do see him, should I mention him deleting the Instagram comment? And Whitney's like, no. Then Leighton
the innocence.
I know. Then Leighton comes over and asks what they're talking about. And they're like, no. And she's like, I don't really care. I'm just avoiding someone. Like, she's just rude. Whatever. She's honest.
I'm using you. Yeah. I'm just being honest.
Just being honest. So then Bella shows up and they ask how the wine and cheese party was. And she looks uncomfortable and, not her normal self. She looks upset and they're like, what happened? She's like, what do you mean? And she's like, so she mentions the porn and they're just asking like, they're like, that's weird. It's creepy or whatever. So then Whitney says, do you remember the name of it? So then they're all on the porch watching it. And Kimberly's like, is it that they're wearing, maybe the funny thing is they're all wearing socks? They all get their socks on. And then one of them says, their balls are different than their penis. And then
different color.
Leighton asks if he was laughing during it. And she says, no. And she's like, this is weird AF. And the guy comes out. I think it was the guy that told Kimberly she looked like Brayden. Remember in the episode where Kimberly came looking for Nico and he's like, you went to Brayden's and you don't know Brayden. You kind of look like him. I think it was that guy. And that guy looks about 40. And he's like, no, watching porn tonight. We are on our best behavior. Yells at them about watching porn because the women's center people are there. All right.
Yeah, they're there investigating,
Yes.
Their brooches and
body cams. Maybe they poisoned the bread.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the bread.
They don't mention that. Nico and Alicia are playing table hockey. Like they're sweeping, right? I'm calling it table hockey. I don't know.
No, come on.
What is that?
Girl.
I've never done that in my life.
Are you serious right now?
Never done that.
That is curling?
Oh.
Like
beer curling? Well, is that what they call it?
Well, I mean, it's like a playoff of curling.
Yes.
How did you not pick that up?
Oh.
What did you call it?
Table hockey sweeping.
Table hockey sweeping?
Isn't that an air hockey table? Or am I wrong?
Oh, maybe they were using an air hockey table to play like a curling type event.
I didn't play curling. We did beer pong, quarters.
Listen, we didn't either. It was flip cup or beer pong. I'm just saying.
Best.
I'm down for some curling.
The best. Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good curling match?
That stressed me out, though. I feel like they were going to tip. I know that's the point. I don't like that. Tipping over the cups. They would tip over the cups, right? I don't want to play that.
I was the person who used brand new cups and insisted if I was playing any game, I'd have a brand new cup. I would be cleaning the table with products.
See, then why do you want to play? I wouldn't even play if I'd be stressed out.
The ball would have to be new out of the package to play beer pong, and then I'd have to have cups with my own, like new cups to drink from.
Yeah, it is really gross.
I would do it kind of nonchalantly most of the time. Huh. Other times
you're sneaking in a cleaning.
I got like that label, but you know what? I didn't care because I didn't end up with
some kind of
what can you get from? I don't know.
Thrush. What's it called? Thrush.
Something.
Thrush in your throat.
Like
You know what thrush is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I would be like, oh yeah, here I'll take a sip of my beer, but like I'm dumping this into the dump bowl.
Get it?
Because I am not putting my mouth on that. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
No, ain't nobody got time for that.
No, it's gross,
including me.
Yeah. So they win. Nico and Alicia win. They're playing their curling. I was what?
18, 19 in college, going on 40.
Okay? You were.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, totally. So it's amazing that you had fun.
Are you surprised? I have not changed since I was an adolescent.
No, I'm not surprised.
Or a teenager.
I'm not like that.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I wasn't that gross or anything, but no. I just probably wouldn't do it. Like, I just wouldn't even do it. So they win the whatever curling, and they like high five or something. Yeah. They're clearly getting along really well. And Kimberly's like, looks like Nico found himself a new Barbie doll.
Yeah.
And
but can we talk about Kimberly?
Wait, I just want to say,
hugging or
wait, I got it.
I'm sorry.
So then Whitney says, what does your Barbie doll look like? And then she awkwardly, yes, here we go, goes over to him, first of all, it was just amazing, puts her arms around him and hugs him while he has one arm. She like has both arms. He has one. It's so awesome. It's so awkward.
I wonder how many times they filmed that.
I know.
It was perfectly awkward.
Perfect. It's totally awkward. And he says, thanks, man. And then they were like, did he just call you man? She goes, maybe. He said ma'am with an M. And Bella goes, that's not better. Like, it was just.
Either way, it's terrible.
I have to stop saying fantastic. It was wonderful. It was genius.
That whole scene, I was loving it.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so quick, too. Okay, so Whitney gets a beer. I don't know. She's back. She's with Willow, and they're like, hey. And she like backs up, turns around, and she crashes into Hayden. Spills the beer. Course. And he makes a comment about, you want to get another picture of my,
Oh, good Lord.
And she says, you really think it's fair that you get all the swag and you like basically they suck. They're not good. He's like, we're stronger. And we have, I didn't write everything he said, but he was like, we're stronger muscles and we're faster. And everybody like wants to watch the men play. Even if they're not
nobody watches
good,
women's
right?
sports or whatever.
And she said, "You really think you're faster than me?" And then they look over at the the treadmill competition.
Yeah,
right?
Because
it's called Chuck and Run.
An in-home gym in this.
I believe it's called Chuck and
frat
Run.
House.
Oh yeah, well of course. And they had 2 treadmills. Yeah, probably more.
There's probably an elliptical to the side and some weights and
Yep. So Alicia and Lane are outside by the dumpster, and Alicia sees the sombreros.
In the dumpster.
And Leighton says they got rid of some of the more problematic things when they heard, she says, we were coming. Alicia says, we? You just said we. Does that mean you're a part of us now? And Leighton says, a women's center person? Are you insane? I would rather do improv. I love improv.
Listen,
I've done
improv. An AA plus in improv.
Yeah. Did you take that in college?
I did, and I remember, and I'm not exaggerating.
I took improv, of course. I minored in theater for a little while, so I could take the courses because I loved them so much.
So much fun.
Then I stopped.
It was probably one of my favorite classes.
Oh yeah,
courses in college.
I did have to. Well, we did improv, but then we also did scripted. We had to do a scripted scene at the end. So improv is awesome. I did not realize this was so painful. Maybe because they suck at it. I don't know. You gotta be.
Could we find a local improv group? Because I think we.
I've done improv local too.
Okay, years ago. We're going to talk offline about that.
All right. Yeah,
but yeah, I did I remember we had to do this. We had a project too where
Upright Citizens Brigade, by the way, in the city that Dave did.
What?
Remember Rapp?
Yes.
Leighton's dad was in the Upright Citizens Brigade. Yes. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
That's right.
But I didn't do that.
No. Yeah, I was just going to say we had to do this project and we had to sing. And I can't remember. Anyway, I just remember how much fun that
you have to be very open.
It didn't feel like work.
No.
And it was almost therapeutic to go to improv.
Me and yours.
And I was in this class with almost, I think I knew one person in it and the rest were strangers. Yeah. On campus. I didn't know. And
sometimes you do better.
Which made it even better.
Yeah, you do
and
better.
More vulnerable. Yep. And I
guess that's why people hate it because they're vulnerable. But of course, we're give it to us. I mean, we're doing improv on the morning announcements every day, pretty much.
Yeah. We do karaoke. We're out there. We're give us a mic. Darn. We got this.
Oh, we're doing a podcast and just going off on tangents that I don't know if anyone thinks are funny or not, but whatever.
Nobody cares. Anyway, back on track.
All right. And then she's like, are you kidding me? When she goes, I would rather do improv. And Alicia gets insulted. And she says, are you kidding? Are we that bad? And Lane's like, you're right. I crossed the line. And they're laughing or whatever. So next I hate this part. My stomach just dropped. So next you see a guy peeing by the dumpster.
This was very uncomfortable.
And Alicia's like, dude, can't you go pee somewhere else? Not next to us. We don't want to see the side of your, DICK. Yeah. And he's like, whatever. Ugh. So she calls him an a-hole, and he says, if you don't like it, leave. And then he calls her a terrible word. Yep. DYKE. I
kind of studied Leighton's reaction, too, during this. I rewatched it.
Oh. What does she do?
Just
I didn't look at
because you could see how
disappointed,
uncomfortable. And annoyed, but disgusted would be the word of the whole thing, and waiting, what's going to happen next.
So Alicia confronts him, and he says to F off, and she pushes him, she knocks him down, she starts to kick him.
Yeah,
Leighton pulls.
Who wouldn't?
I know. Leighton pulls.
Who do you think you are?
Her off of him, and then Alicia runs off or whatever, and Leighton chases after her. She's like, she was so She was mad. Alicia was mad that she pulled her off of her. And she's like, and Leighton's like, he could have killed you. You're 5 feet. She's like, I'm 5'2". I'm 5'1" 3/4, just to let you know. So I'm not 5'2", but I'm really close to 5'2". But I was thinking that. So Leighton apologizes for that happening and for bringing her there. And she said she's never seen anything like that before. And Alicia says, of course you haven't. They don't treat you like they treat me. I'm just this queer girl they can't F. But you're this pretty straight girl that they actually think is worthy of respect. And Leighton's like, no, it's not true. And she's like,
you have it wrong.
What do you mean? And she's like, I mean what you said about me. You're wrong. You're wrong. And Alicia's like, what part is wrong? And then Leighton kisses her. And it was really
I called
good.
that, by the way.
You did, and I did. I knew there was some chemistry. I could tell there was chemistry.
Totally.
I mean, I didn't know it would happen, to be honest, this fast, but I guess, it's the theory, so I was glad.
Right.
And Alicia was like, whoa, I was really wrong about you. And then Leighton's like, shut up. All right. The treadmill race starts. They don't finish it, though. They just show them starting, and it's called Chuck and Run, by the way, which is hysterical. Yeah. Then we see Kimberly. That's all we see. And then we see Kimberly leaving the party. Nico follows her out. He apologizes for. Sorry, I just laugh when I think of her. Apologizes for inviting her, but not really hanging out with her. And she says, "Oh, I didn't notice because I was hanging out with so many friends.
So many friends.
But she has to get going.
How she tries to be cool. I
know
it.
because she has homework.
She's so cool.
I know. And he asks if he can walk her, and she says, yes, I guess that, that would be okay. So now we're back at the treadmill race. Whitney wins.
Yes.
She's cheering and talking trash. She falls on her face.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, and they go over and they help her, and then she falls again. They're like, oh. And her mouth is totally bleeding, like on her teeth. And she's like, nevertheless, she persisted. It's very funny.
But she won. So
she did.
Take that.
Yeah. Hayden.
Not that she'll get
she won't get anything for it.
Nicer locker room, but bragging rights for sure.
No. So then Kimberly is sitting on a bench with Nico. And she says, so I don't know if he asks her about the party, but she says it's her favorite Theta party yet because no one's spilling the beer on her. Because that last time she fell on her. She fell.
So she's been to 2 parties. Yeah. So
then
that we know of.
She takes that moment there. She asks about the deleted comment. Did you make a comment and then delete it? He says, yeah, I did. And I didn't want anybody getting the wrong idea. And she says, the wrong idea like what? He says, well, you're my sister's roommate. I'm also tutoring you. I shouldn't be saying, you look, I don't know what I wrote.
But
here.
To me, I'm right. Are you feeling the same way that he obviously has a crush on her and is conflicted because it's not his type?
I was thinking
I know.
that.
The whole you're my roommate or my sister's roommate and I'm tutoring it. I'm not buying that.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be that she's not his type. What's disappointing is remember if that's the case that he's embarrassed in a way because she's not his type is in the first episode, I believe it was. He was talking to Leighton about the lame high school friends. Yeah. And he's like, I don't even talk. Don't worry about it. And don't worry about what people think, and you'll make new friends. But then he's kind of worrying what people. If this is the case, if he's embarrassed of her, then he's.
And maybe that is genuine. But I'm you're in college. There's no.
He does seem to be scared of his sister, though. Maybe.
That's true. You're right. I just when I saw that, I was like, I'm feeling like you're running away from eventually. Obviously, you're gonna
something.
You two are gonna have. Some sort of
something, maybe.
Situation together.
We'll see.
As I'm watching this, that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Because I feel like you're.
Yeah, I was
making excuses for the fact that you like her.
I was disappointed because it's dude,
I'm thinking they're going to kiss there and they don't.
Grow some, you know what?
Yeah, seriously, be a man. Because you look like a man.
Well, he is.
You're 40 playing an 9, 20, whatever year old.
And also too, I just felt like he could just rebel against this ridiculous of. Yeah. What he has to be or has to look like because of his family. Anyway.
Within Theta and the family.
God, and Essex. Well, I guess she says, no problem. I don't know what I wrote here, to be honest. Yeah. And then she looks at her phone, and it's 1:06 a.m.
Yes.
And she runs to turn in the econ project, and it says it's past due. Now, so like you said, which I think I thought about that for a second, but then I didn't write it down. If she had done, it's not like she had to go home and work on the project. So she had done the project. Why didn't she just turn it in earlier?
Why didn't you turn it before? Because you literally went to upload the file.
Or did we miss? No, because they said it was 1:06.
I didn't.
Or did
I watched this episode twice.
Yeah, I did
so
too.
I don't feel like I missed anything. But it is interesting how you caught the whole dubbing during that other scene.
So I wonder if there was something else
it's mismatched for sure.
I wonder if there was supposed to be, like, there was a scene of her doing the
working
project
on it
and then
stopping.
Finishes it, and they say, come on, let's go to the party, and she never submits it.
Correct.
I bet that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody listening to this is following us, but that's my theory.
From HBO, that would be great. From the production team on The Girls.
Come on. So Bella's laying in bed, and I feel bad for her, you know, she just looks like, man, like, damn, like, why did this guy have to do this, right? So she looks at, because she does mention earlier when they're like, this guy's a creep and blah, blah. She's like,
loved her outfit.
Yes.
Her lounge outfit, though, with the socks and the, like,
it was good.
Dyed.
She has better
it wasn't
lounge
tie-dye,
outfits.
but it was like.
The ink blot? Was it ink blot?
I think it was more in the ink blot. I was like, ooh, I love your outfit.
Yeah.
I'm digging it now.
Yeah.
I wasn't digging the suit and tie, but I'm digging this.
She has better pajamas than clothes. Pretty sure.
Scrunched down socks like I had back in the day.
Yeah. But then she looks at the notes and she starts to work on it. There was something I was going to say. Oh, by the way, earlier when they're like, you know, this guy's a creep and everything, and she's like, but that would be, you know, you got to stay away from him or hate him or something like that. And she goes, that would be easier, but this is the nice editor. You know, that's what sucks, right? All right. So then we have, Leighton is in Alicia's room. Leighton is starting to leave. She's starting to get dressed. And Alicia asks her, are you seriously leaving right now? And she's like, I used to also leave after,
you know,
their activity. But, you know, maybe you could sit down and order we could order some Postmates and watch some Indian Matchmaker. And Leighton's like, okay. She like smiles and she says, all right, but only for 1 to 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And then Alicia's like, could I borrow your Netflix? Why does everybody need everybody else's Netflix? Like Kimberly's ex-loser boyfriend needed her Netflix.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So now Dalton and Whitney are talking on a bench. I don't know, it's all of these benches about the treadmill race. And he's like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, you should see that treadmill. My chin definitely left a dent, you know. And he's like, we need to talk. Can't do this anymore. It's inappropriate. If your mom ever found out, I would be so canceled. I would never be able to get a job at any other school again. And she's like, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to your wife? Like, would she, you know, she forgives you and takes you back? And he's like, I never told her. And he's like, you shouldn't tell anyone either. We both have a lot to lose. He gets up, gets in his truck. I just want to say, I noticed that his driver's side window was down, by the way. His side window was all the way down because I happened to notice that. He was leaning I think the second time I watched it. And he leans out. And she, where are we? She throws a rock at the truck and breaks the passenger side window, which was awesome. That's all I have to say. He's like, boom. What the?
She's got a great target.
Yeah, well, yeah.
She could do the shock
She's
put.
an athlete.
Whatever.
She fights whatever she wants. She could do curling.
Great athlete.
The real curling.
The real curling that you didn't know about. I'm just kidding.
And that's the end of that one. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we saw that one coming with Dalton.
But I saw that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait for the next episode.
Yes, we did watch the next one. I started episode 7, just a little teeny bit. No,
I didn't. I watched 6.
Yeah, I watched 6.
I cannot wait to talk about it. And I want to rewatch it because it was that
I feel
good.
like every episode gets better and better. Like I watch it, I'm like, that was the best episode. Because then I'll like
fine wine.
And I'll go back because I always go back to whatever we're going to talk about. And I'm like, in a way, I don't want to watch this again because I really like the next episode. But episode 6 is
so
killer.
Good.
It's really good.
Cannot wait to rewatch
really
it
good.
And take better notes because I loved it.
Yeah.
So I will do that.
All right.
Tell us what you think. Come on, people.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, we want to hear it.
You know, I know there's people from other countries. I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, give us
just
a
amazed.
shout
How did you even hear
Instagram.
How'd you hear about this podcast in Saudi Arabia,
Sweden,
where are you coming from,
etc. Yeah, Russia.
Love it.
And beyond. It's awesome.
I don't know about Russia.
Thanks for that. Yeah, give us a shout via Instagram, HomeBodiesOnly.
Yep, HomeBodiesOnly podcast, and then Gmail, HomeBodiesOnly@gmail.com.
All one word.
All right.
See you next time. Bye.